Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our admins, and the message reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I have come here on your platform so that I can confess. I want to confess that I am sleeping with my sister's husband. I am what they call a snake that is under grass. I have betrayed my own blood, my biological sister. We are same blood, same mother, same father. The one I come after, the one who left the breast for me, yet I am doing all of this evil stuff against her. My mother owns a house in the same city that my sister lives in. My mother and I do not have the best mother-to-daughter relationship. Our relationship had its ups and downs. So when we had a disagreement, I would run to my sister and her husband who understood me. Then they will take me in. What her big sister had not known was that staying with her was a way to rekindle my relationship with her husband, because we had been sleeping together. My relationship with my husband's sister started, I can say it was somewhere around 20 years ago, when their first child was still in preschool. I would sometimes go and stay with them, and no one ever suspected that I was actually having sexual intercourse with my sister's husband. I would disguise as if I was helping my sister out with their child. Little did the world know that I was a third person in their bedroom. The relationship continued on for years, and big sister never suspected anything up to these days. The rumor that I was having an affair with my sister's husband once circulated, but of course I squashed them before they had even went anyway. Me and my husband's sister, what we'll do is that when we would hear people talking about the way that we were handling ourselves, then we'll make sure that for a very long time we will not be seen doing the naughty stuff that we used to do. And when people would have relaxed, that is when we would go to our old ways. I know some of you are asking why big sister never found out that her husband and I, we were busy having sex. And my sister and her husband are established business people in our town. So I was stationed in the office, and whenever we were alone in the office, me and my sister's husbands, we would get intimate. The problem is I have become so attached to him, so much that I get jealous whenever a female gets close to him. Even my own young sisters, even those younger female employees, there was even one who had came for her attachments. I saw that she was getting close, too close to the love of my life. Brother Nashi, the thing that I do, I am not even proud of what I did, because I am a Christian who is not supposed to do the things that I did. But I said, this I have to sort out, but I am going to sort it out using the African way. I visited a traditional healer. Then I went to this other traditional healer and I spoke with him, and I told him that there was a woman who wanted my husband, because whenever I go to these prophets, now that there are a lot of Zim prophets in our country, I am dealing with them. You can even think that I come from Zim, because I am always around these prophets trying to fix this relationship that is there between me and my sister's husband, because I do not want my sister's eyes to be opened. I was once given this other clay pot, and I was told to sneak into my sister's bedroom when she was not there. All that I had to do was to write her name on a piece of paper using a black pen, but the same I was supposed to use the red pen. So that was what I did. I then went into the bedroom, and after I had gone into the bedroom, I took that clay plate and I placed it in such a way that it was covering that pen. After that, I then started to say the prayer that the Zim prophet had told me to say. I then said the prayer that the Zim prophet had told me to say, and I told my sister that her eyes were supposed to be forever closed. Her spiritual eyes were never to be opened. God was not allowed to speak with her or to make her have dreams in which she'll end up suspecting that I was actually having sexual intercourse with her husband. After I had done this, I then went and I took one of her underwears. I selected this other G-string of hers and I removed just a small thread from that G-string, and I went with that thread that I had taken from her underwear back to that Zim prophet. And that Zim prophet said that he was going, when he would go back to his country, he was going to take that thread that I had taken from my sister's underwear and he was going to tie it to a tree, and this was going to keep this covenant. And as long as that small thread will be tied to that tree there in Zim, my sister will never even suspect that I was actually sleeping with her man. Am I even normal because of the things that I did? So as for that young intern, what I did is that I returned back to that very powerful traditional healer, and I told the traditional healer that there was a young clown that was trying to steal my own husband. That traditional healer then gave me herbs. All that I had to do was to go and sprinkle these herbs at my sister's husband's office, as well at the reception area. That was where this intern was working at. Brother Nashi, after this whole thing had been done, that young woman, she started to get sick. She got so thin, Brother Nashi. Then she started to have swollen legs. It was as if there was a creature that had entered into her legs. That creature was eating her up from the inside. And the thing that I heard was that when she was sleeping in bed, when they would try to remove her from that bed, since she was no longer mobile, she was always pushed around in a wheelchair. They said that there was a lot of stuff that was coming out of her legs, like fluid that was coming out of her legs. Then that young intern, she passed away. I was forbidden to go and visit her at the hospital. Otherwise, the charms were going to be broken. Even when my sister's husband and my other co-workers, when they went to her funeral, I was not there. I pretended as if I was sick because I was not supposed to see the place where she was buried. I was not supposed to look at her coffin. Otherwise, her spirit was going to come chasing after me. I just pretended as if I was sick. Brother Nashi, I continued with all of these rituals. So at work, I started having clashes with these personal assistants. My sister's husband had hired a much younger female personal assistant that had not sat well with me. I had been transferred to another department, but we were within the same complex, so I did not have as much free access as I had initially, and I was getting mad slowly but surely. I even robbed people from other departments in my quest to get rid of the personal assistant. My husband's sister was adamant that she was not going anyway, as she was very professional and very good at her job. I had even manipulated my sister to have her fired, but it was to no avail. Husband's sister had fought on her side, and I had realized that I was in a battle that I was not going to win. At work, I was known to have a short fuse. Anyone who dared to argue with me, I would threaten them with suicide. And besides, at the complex, it was my sister's business. People preferred peace rather than war, so usually they kept to themselves. But I had heard rumors that people were gossiping behind my back. They were saying that I had what they call entitlement syndrome, that I felt entitled to my sister's empire. Some even had the nerve to call me mad. I was mad because after all these years of having sex with me, he had not even bought me a fuel saver. He would come to me for free sex whenever he felt like it. I had felt used and hurt by what he did. The only compensation that I got from him was paying for my tuition fees. When people had quizzed why he was paying my tuition fees, we had come up with the perfect explanation. It was my package for working hard all these years. Only him and I know the real truth, but I knew despite having sex with him on a day-to-day basis, he just could not marry me. I was barren. I could not bear him the children that he so wanted, because he had tried to impregnate me, but I had failed to fall pregnant for him. He had kids with both his wives, but he also wanted a child with me, but it could just not happen. Some were wondering how I managed to sleep with my sister's husband for such a long time without anyone suspecting. Well, my sister is quite a heavy sleeper, and because of those charms that I placed on her, my sister, she is like a blind woman. It is only this new wife of his. She does not like me at all, but I don't care, because she is staying in a different province than the province where we are staying right now. So she will never get to know that I am also sleeping with her own husband. However, Brother Nashi, sometimes in this relationship of ours, we do encounter some problems. There was even one time when my sister's maid actually caught me kissing my sister's husband, and after she had caught me kissing my sister's husband, that was when we decided that it was far much better for us to have her fired. Then we created this scenario as if she had stolen something from my sister. That is how that maid ended up being fired by my sister. When she was fired, Brother Nashi, I then started to feel really guilty in my heart, knowing that this is what I did to her. And I feel so sorry. Maybe she was really in need of this job, since I heard that she was a single mom and she had 2 kids. So she was using the salary that she was earning from the salary that she was being given by my sister to take care of her kids. I know that I am a heartless person, but as I write this confession, I do not even know what to do anymore, and I don't know if my sister knows deep down in her heart that I am actually sleeping with her husband, just that the charms that I used on her, maybe they are too powerful. But Brother Nashi, some of the things that I do with my sister's husband, they are quite evil. Sometimes he can even sneak out of my sister's bedroom so that he can come to make love to me. We do those things that they call a quickie. We just have a quickie somewhere in the house when she is sleeping, since she is like a heavy sleeper. But I know that the things that me and my husband's sister, the thing that we are doing, it is quite evil, but we are madly in love with each other. And he believes that if you are a man, if you have a lot of money, yes, you are allowed to have as many women as you can afford. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by our admin. It was sent to us by one of our dear listeners. Just imagine that you are dating your sister's husband, and on top of that, you go around visiting these prophets, and she was given some charms to use on her sister so that she can forever be spiritually blind, and so that they can block God from making her to have those dreams in which she will be able to see that this is what is going on. Yeah, people are evil out there.